All right, so it is December 10th, 2025. Let's talk about Reddit. Yesterday I did a video on Google and why I believe Google is going to be the big winner in the AI race. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Reddit and why I think Reddit is undervalued. My opinions, these are just my biased opinions. This is not financial advice, but I'm just going to kind of speak freely and we can go from there. So Reddit is at $236.84 right now per share on December 10th, 2025. And I think it's at like 45 billion market cap. What I believe about Reddit is, I think Reddit is waiting for it's 44 billion, 44.8 billion is the market cap. I think Reddit is waiting for their big moment, and I think they're really undervalued. So Reddit's waiting for like their Sean Parker moment. You know, what Sean Parker did with Facebook, I think is going to end up happening with Reddit in some type of way. I don't know really how to kind of explain that, but Reddit is for sure, they're just waiting for their Sean Parker moment. And by the way, it might be Sean Parker. I think maybe Sean Parker will have the answer for them. Let's see, Sean Parker, Facebook. That was after being, okay, so Sean Parker took Facebook to a new level based on his ideas. If Reddit can find their Sean, he joined Facebook in 2004. So if they can find their Sean Parker, maybe it might be Sean Parker. They're just waiting for their moment. They're waiting for their moment. Anyways, 44.8 billion. The other thing too that's really weird is, I don't want to say it's weird, but they were just added to the Russell 2000 or 3000 and 1000 index. Reddit Russell Index. They were just added this summer of 2025. So they have, I think they're added to the Russell 1000, Russell 3000, and they're in the Nasdaq the Nasdaq technology ETF or something like that. But why wouldn't they? Personally, I think they belong in the Nasdaq 100. That is what I believe. I think they belong in the Nasdaq 100. Let's see, Nasdaq's worst performing stocks, Nasdaq 100. I mean, you got Bumble, failing company, clearly failing. Just my opinion. But you have Bumble, who's just been bleeding. You should look at their chart. They've just been bleeding money. They have no plan. They got no game plan. And we'll talk about Bumble a different day. We'll talk about Chipotle a different day. We'll talk about Sweetgreen a different day. But Bumble's it's like a slow bleed. They're just like slowly bleeding out. And I think they're on the NASDAQ. I could be wrong about this, but Marvel Technology, Lululemon, Tesla. Let's see. What is NASDAQ's worst performing stock on the NASDAQ 100? Let's see. I don't know. I mean, this will be. Let's see the NASDAQ. Anyways, not to spend too much time on this. It's just my opinion here in December of 2025 that they belong on the NASDAQ 100. That's just my opinion. Anyways, the other thing too I wanted to say about Reddit, in beyond them needing to. Not needing, just they will have their Sean Parker moment. This is I have a high conviction about them having. They're gonna have their Sean Parker moment, and I think they're gonna rocket higher. They're also gonna benefit once they go onto the NASDAQ or S&P, but probably NASDAQ. Once they go to the NASDAQ or S&P, they're gonna benefit from being on that index, as well as the other thing too is, if you think about it, Reddit has got to be one of the most important places on the entire internet, meaning they probably capture more attention they I know they're globally recognized. They might be one of the top globally recognized brands, but if you think about it in terms of just screen time and time looking at any platform, whether it's Reddit, Google, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, Reddit's got to be really, they're like the Pepsi of the internet. You know what I mean? Like if Instagram or Facebook is Coke, they're like the Pepsi of the internet, and I don't think they're being priced accordingly. Let's see, Reddit, how much attention does Reddit get? It's they got to take. So Instagram is second or third globally. Reddit is 700 million active users. So how would we compare that? That's 700 million active users compared to Instagram's 2 to 3 billion monthly active users. It just seems. All right, let's go into this a little bit more, just a little bit deeper. 850 million MAUs compared to Instagram's 2 billion MAUs, monthly active user. Time spent. Reddit saw growth in monthly time per user, increasing from 215 minutes to 243 minutes in 1 year. That's huge. So not only are the user, they're spending more time on the actual platform. Yeah, this is going to be big. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, but I think they're waiting for their Sean Parker moment, and they have so much attention. They got to be. I don't want to say for sure, but I bet you they're top 10 in total in the platforms visited, like globally. Top 10. Here, let's see. Let's find out. Top 10 online platforms. Let's see. Alright, so Google, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, WhatsApp, ChatGPT, Reddit. Reddit's number 8. Reddit is number 8, and they're valued at $44.88 billion. That's cheap. This is cheap. They should be way higher. They should be way higher. This is just my opinion. ChatGPT is whatever their valuation is. They got to be 10 times higher than Reddit. ChatGPT valuation. ChatGPT valuation. They're what? 200 billion? $500 billion in late 2025 compared to between 80 and 300 the year before. So why is Reddit, who's in my opinion more, I don't know. I mean, this is we can deep dive that later on. Why would Reddit be a fraction of that, 10% of ChatGPT? Why? Why wouldn't they be a third? Why not? It's just my feelings, just my opinion. I'm not saying this is gospel, but this is I believe I'm onto something. Beyond that, I hope you guys are just taking my word for. I hope you guys you're not listening to me and taking action based off anything I do. But I don't see anybody else talking about this. I see a lot of like. Maybe I'm just looking in the wrong places, but I don't see a lot of people. This is, I think Reddit is waiting for their Sean Parker moment. I don't see why they can't be 1/3 of the size of the valuation of ChatGPT. I don't see why not. They should. And are they burning through money? Let's see. Is Reddit burning through cash? I know. ChatGPT has a little bit. Yeah, they're burning cash. Significant losses. Yeah, so they got to figure it out. They will figure it out. Anyways, that's my spiel on Reddit. And I really like the CEO. I really like the people who are leading that company are very much in tune with their users. They're very much in tune with their users. Also, the other thing too is I'm just kind of spitballing. By the way, none of this is financial advice. The other thing too that's interesting is for a $44 billion company, $44.8 billion company, why do you have Perplexity and all these other LLMs, and why do you have them scrubbing information legally or illegally or whatever? That's still yet to be decided. Why do you have all of those companies and why do you have all the competition in the AI LLMs scrubbing information from Reddit? I mean, we all know why, but if clearly all the other big tech companies sees the value in, at least just in sheer data and conversation, and everybody really, they're all kind of poaching from Reddit. They're all just kind of like scrubbing from Reddit, and they see the value, but the market is not seeing the value if it's at 44.88 billion. But if I'm the type of guy that will, if you're a value investor, which I'm not telling anybody what to do, but if you're a value investor, you kind of want to exploit. I was taught, the way I was kind of taught and learned is if you're going to invest in something, you want to exploit. You can exploit, as a value investor, you're just exploiting the sentiment. So if it goes down, that's, I guess, the way that a value investor is. You want to. I don't want to tell you what to do, but I would exploit the lack of, the market doesn't have the opinion that I have, so I can exploit it by investing. Anyways, I have other views on Reddit, but I really like the company. I really like what they're doing. I really like the C-suite. I like the executives. I like the people leading the company. Yesterday I said Google's probably my favorite, but Reddit is, in my opinion, super undervalued. Let's see what I really like them. PE ratio of 109, 44.88 billion. They're going to figure something out. They're going to have their Sean Parker moment, but they're definitely going to figure something out. And I think once they do that, they're going to skyrocket. Tomorrow I'm going to be going over, I hope you guys like and comment and subscribe, just so I can reach more people. If you please, subscribe and like and comment. If you guys have any other opinions or that are contrary to mine, feel free to let me know, please. Let me know. And then tomorrow I'm going to go over probably Chipotle and Starbucks. Dude, Starbucks they're not looking good. Again, this is just my opinion. It's not financial advice, but Starbucks is looking. This Brian Niccol, I don't think he's going to turn the company. This is going to be he's going to be like 3 for 1 or 3 and 1. I don't think he can. Just my opinion. But we'll get into that later in the week. We'll get into Starbucks. We'll get into Chipotle. We'll get into Sweet Green. We're going to get into Meta later on. We're going to get into a couple other companies. I'm going to give my opinion. These are just my biased opinions. It's not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do. But this is, I think Reddit's, to me, in my opinion, a big time winner. Big time winner. Google and Reddit, number 1 and 2 for me. All right, that's it for now. Thank you guys for listening. I know these videos are 20 minutes long or whatever, but this is my first and second video, and I'm just gonna keep at it. And if you guys want me to break down any other companies or any other things you want me to look at, I'll be happy to do it. Beyond that, I'm not really sorry that these videos are 20 minutes, because having a slightly longer attention span is probably the best thing for all investors right now in America. Just having that extra 15-20 minutes attention span. Nobody can. I have a slightly longer attention span. I know I'm babbling right now, but 20 minutes shouldn't be a big deal to get someone's opinion. And I hope I'm providing value. I hope I'm offering some insight. Hopefully, let's all hope and pray that they get their Sean Parker moment. And who knows, maybe Sean Parker will see this video and maybe somebody's got an idea about what to do with Reddit. But I think Reddit's going way higher. Just my opinion, not financial advice. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.